Welcome to Money Briefing. Today we are addressing a topic that generates significant concern every year around this time: Social Security cuts and who will actually be affected. The answer may surprise you because the group most likely to bear the burden of major Social Security changes is probably not who you think. Headlines constantly warn about seniors facing devastating benefit cuts. The insolvency issue dominates news cycles. Politicians point fingers at each other. Yet when we examine the actual structure of Social Security and how Congress historically handles these situations, a very different picture emerges. Current beneficiaries are likely the most protected group. The real impact will fall on younger generations. Every year around this time, reports emerge about Social Security's impending doom. The trust fund is running out. Benefits will be slashed. The entire program is collapsing. These headlines generate tremendous anxiety among seniors and retirees who depend on these benefits for survival. Here is the reality. Social Security has been operating like a well-oiled machine for nearly 90 years. The program continues humming along, bringing new beneficiaries in, processing applications, collecting tax revenues, and paying out benefits. It performs the same functions it has executed for decades, just on a larger scale as the beneficiary population grows. The program is not falling apart. Despite what various political figures claim about one party or another destroying Social Security, the fundamental operations remain stable and consistent. Approximately 11,000 seniors become eligible for benefits every single day. That translates to roughly 330,000 new beneficiaries monthly and about 4 million annually. Consider the political mathematics. With millions of seniors receiving benefits and millions more becoming eligible each year, what politician would vote to slash benefits for this enormous voting bloc? The answer is essentially none. Current beneficiaries represent the most politically protected group in the entire Social Security discussion. This is not the first time Social Security has faced insolvency concerns. History demonstrates a consistent pattern. Whenever the program approaches a crisis point, Congress comes together, finds a solution, and implements changes. They did this in the 1980s with the Greenspan Commission reforms, and they will do it again. The current projections suggest the trust fund faces depletion in approximately 7 to 8 years. However, realistically, Congress will likely wait until perhaps 2 years before actual insolvency before taking action. That means meaningful reform might not occur until around 2031 or 2032. This is how Washington operates. Urgent problems get addressed urgently. Problems that seem distant get delayed. If current seniors are protected, who bears the burden of Social Security reform? The answer is younger generations, specifically individuals born around 1970 and after. People currently in their mid-40s and younger will absorb the primary impact of whatever changes Congress eventually implements. This demographic has 20, 25, or 30 years before reaching retirement age. That extended timeline gives Congress room to make changes that phase in gradually without immediately affecting anyone currently receiving benefits or approaching retirement. Younger workers often express skepticism about whether Social Security will exist when they retire. That skepticism, while perhaps cynical, reflects an accurate understanding of the situation. The program will likely exist in some form, but the benefits and eligibility rules may look substantially different than they do today. Based on historical patterns and current discussions, several changes appear probable for future beneficiaries. The full retirement age will almost certainly increase. Currently set at 67, this threshold will likely move to 68 at minimum. More realistically, expect it to reach 69 or 70. Looking further ahead over the next 10 to 20 years, the full retirement age could potentially reach 72, 73, or even 75. Life expectancy has increased dramatically since Social Security began. The program was designed when people lived shorter lives and spent fewer years in retirement. Adjusting the retirement age reflects these demographic realities. Tax increases represent another likely component of any reform package. The current Social Security tax rate of 6.2% on employees and 6.2% on employers could increase. The income cap on Social Security taxes, currently around $168,600, might rise or be eliminated entirely for higher earners. There exists another possibility that rarely gets discussed openly. Congress could simply manufacture money to shore up the trust fund. If lawmakers cannot reach agreement on benefit cuts or tax increases, they might request the Federal Reserve essentially print several trillion dollars and deposit it into Social Security. This approach would technically solve the immediate solvency problem. Benefits would continue flowing without cuts. No politically painful decisions would be required. However, this solution creates its own serious problems. When the government prints large amounts of money, it depletes the purchasing power of every dollar in circulation. We experienced this phenomenon dramatically in 2020 and 2021, when approximately $6 trillion in new money entered the economy. The result was significant inflation that eroded the value of savings and fixed incomes. That $100 bill in your wallet maintains its face value, but what it can actually purchase decreases. Groceries that cost $100 one year might cost $130 the next. The dollar amount stays the same, but real purchasing power diminishes. Seniors on fixed incomes feel this impact acutely. So while money printing might preserve nominal benefit amounts, the real value of those benefits would decline through inflation. Current beneficiaries would technically receive their full checks, but those checks would buy less and less over time. Given congressional tendencies toward procrastination on difficult issues, meaningful Social Security reform will likely arrive at the last possible moment. The trust fund currently has approximately 7 to 8 years before depletion. Expect Congress to act perhaps 6 years from now at the earliest. When action finally occurs, it will probably involve a combination approach. The retirement age will increase for younger workers. Taxes may rise modestly. Benefit formulas might be adjusted for future retirees. Some money creation might fill remaining gaps. The package will be designed to impose minimal pain on current beneficiaries while shifting the burden to future generations who have time to adjust. This approach, while perhaps unfair to younger workers, reflects political reality. Current beneficiaries vote in large numbers. Future beneficiaries either cannot vote yet or have decades before retirement becomes personally relevant. Politicians respond to immediate electoral pressures. If you are currently receiving Social Security benefits or will begin receiving them within the next 5 to 7 years, your benefits are almost certainly safe. The political protection surrounding current beneficiaries makes significant cuts virtually impossible. Congress will not tell millions of seniors who plan their retirements around promised benefits that those benefits are suddenly being reduced. Any changes that occur will be phased in gradually, affecting those who have time to adjust their plans. Someone retiring next year will not face different rules than they expected. Someone retiring in 20 years might face substantially different rules. The annual insolvency headlines generate unnecessary anxiety among current beneficiaries. Yes, the trust fund faces challenges. Yes, reforms are necessary, but those reforms will not come at the expense of people already depending on Social Security for their daily survival. Americans currently in their 40s and younger should treat Social Security as a potential supplement rather than a guaranteed foundation for retirement. The program will likely exist in some form, but relying entirely on Social Security for retirement income carries significant risk. This represents both a warning and an opportunity. 20 or 25 years provides substantial time to build alternative retirement resources. Maximizing 401k contributions, building investment portfolios, reducing debt, and developing multiple income streams all become more important when Social Security's future remains uncertain. Younger workers who assume Social Security might not exist for them and plan accordingly will be better positioned than those who assume everything will work out. If Social Security does provide benefits, those become a bonus. If benefits are reduced or delayed, the impact remains manageable. Social Security represents the most successful anti-poverty program for seniors in American history. Before its creation, elderly poverty was widespread and devastating. The program has provided dignity and security to generations of Americans. The current challenges are real but solvable. The trust fund situation requires attention. The demographics of an aging population demand adjustment, but the program is not collapsing, not being stolen, and not going away. What will change is the distribution of who pays for necessary reforms. History strongly suggests current beneficiaries will be protected while younger generations absorb the adjustments. This pattern has repeated through every previous Social Security reform, and there is no reason to expect a different approach this time. For seniors currently receiving benefits, the message is reassurance. Your benefits are secure. Do not let sensational headlines create unnecessary fear. For younger workers, the message is preparation. Use the time you have to build financial security that does not depend entirely on government programs. Money Briefing will continue monitoring all developments related to Social Security reform, trust fund projections, and congressional action. When meaningful changes occur, we will provide clear analysis of what those changes mean for different generations of Americans. That's your Money Briefing for today.